Okay, good afternoon, folks. Hope everyone is well. Okay, Friday the 19th. We've had a lot of price action actually overnight, a hell of a lot of price action. We've had some really nice moves. It's just a shame it was overnight, but really nice strong downtrend, then overshoot a break, couple of pushes down to a new low, and more or less the same again. A nice strong up trend with a break, couple of pushes up, and we've had another couple of legs up as well. So this is probably some of the most price action I've seen overnight in a long time, and it's obviously working because obviously there's people trading it because it's moving. So I've just marked that one as one trade I would have taken had I been here. Speedy, how you doing, buddy? So let's have a look. So yeah, I mean, whether there's something larger, I don't think there is. No, I don't think so. It's hard to say, really, isn't it? There could be. We could get something like this. Possible to I don't know. It's a bit early anyway, to be honest with you. So let's see how we get on anyway. We are about 2.5 minutes away from the market officially opening. So yeah, we've had this break. We've actually made a new high here, but we have had another leg and another leg up, another channel with 2 legs back and a couple of pushes up to a new high. So whether we are bouncing some more or not, it's just hard to say, really. We've sort of broken the highs. Maybe we're coming back to retest it. I don't quite know at the moment. So let's just put that. Let's put a line there and just see what we're looking at in the way of support. Yeah, maybe. So we're using this line as a little bit of support and resistance. So interested to see what's happening here, but we may get lucky and get some trades today. There was another possibility of a higher low there, but as we'd already broke that channel and 2 pushes up to a new high, excuse me, I didn't mark it, but who knows? Who knows whether there's something larger? Maybe we're just retesting this area. As I say, I don't think there's anything larger there. Let's see what's happened. Now that's bounced. No, it's a bit too early, really, to think about that. So, leg, break, leg. Are we pushing up? What's the NQ giving us? Anything different? You know what? There may be a spike in a channel on the NQ. It's certainly possible. Let's see how we react here. Okay, market is opening about 30 seconds. So hopefully sometimes when the market opens and it starts to move in a direction, it helps give us some sort of direction. So possible on the NQ, possibly something larger. It's a bit early to say, really. I might just be sort of pissing in the wind a bit there, but we'll see. Okay, market's about to open. So we're getting a leg and retesting, or are we actually pushing up? So I'm going to get rid of that channel. I don't think it is. I mean, it is possible that there is a bigger channel there, but I think it's more like just 2 legs. So just for now, I'm going to keep it like that, because what I don't want to do is automatically assume we're going to make a new high. We may well do, but we may well not do as well. No, let's just check we're not ranging of some sorts. I'm just going to put that there and just see if we bounce. If it is a strong market and it is going to push up, then I'd expect it to probably consolidate a little bit, maybe before it goes up again. So let me just check. I'm not missing nothing larger here. Yeah, there is a possibility that there's a bigger channel. What makes me think there may be a bigger channel, because we've had a channel a break, 2 pushes up, we've come back down, test this, and we've got another channel with a break, a possibly bigger channel. So we could be sort of having 2 attempts to go lower and then we push higher. Is that higher low? It's not, no. So I have a feeling we may just be doing a bit of sideways. It's a bit early, really. So thank you. Channel break, 2 pushes down to a new low. So there was a higher low there. This to me looks like it's pushing up. I may have entered that. My slight concern is it's sort of 2/3 of the way from the bottom. So what's that ATR? ATR is still a little high. I like that lower, really. It just ups your risk. So maybe this is a couple of legs down, maybe a couple of attempts to go lower, and we'll eventually push up. So I just have a feeling we may have just a stronger day today. Who knows? Who knows? Okay, leg and a bearish bar, 1, 2, 3, triple test. That's a possibility. It's a bit early to work out what's going on at the moment, although there does look like 2 legs. There is a possibility of a bigger channel there. It hasn't triggered anyway, so it might just be 2 attempts to go lower before we push up again. I have a feeling that that's the way things are moving. We'll see. I'm not so sure at the moment. Okay. There's a hell of a lot of price action, really. It kind of looks about 2 hours into the day, to be honest with you. Sort of came down, a little bit of sideways, made 2 attempts to go down. I think this is going up, certainly to these highs, I think. Let's see what happens, see if we can get a second entry long. We've got a channel with a break. I'm going to get an order ready just to see if we can get submitted. A higher low. I could be completely wrong, but we'll see how this pans out. Could be something like that, we'll see. We're quiet on the comments today. Anybody out there? Look, just speed at the moment. There's what, 27 of us in. Okay, this is coming down, I think, so let's forget this idea.
Order cancelled.
So, maybe after this, there is something coming down. There we go. Ionis, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, maybe it's just 2 legs down of a correction, then we push up, I don't know. Before, how you doing? You're right there, it's all right. You all seem quite quiet today. So maybe this is something like this. Leg and a leg, let's just put that there. So, good on you all. So, anybody come to the charts early? Because, I mean, it's not often we see this type of thing, is it? In the overnight, usually it's a little bit of sideways and a bit of chop, but this thing is moving. I don't know quite what caused that. Was there anything at the latter part of the day? Maybe it's just a leg and a leg, it could be. So maybe this is just 2 attempts to go lower. Let's have a look. Let me just see if I'm not missing something here. I don't know. I think I might be clutching at straws a bit there. Is this a channel? Maybe. I'm just going to remove it for a minute and just put that there because it might be, it might not be. I don't want it to affect my body fat. Let's just leave it for now. This just might be 2 legs. Let's see what happens. There is a second entry short there. Trouble is, if it finishes, you're actually going short right into the midline. So
order submitted.
Let's see how this pans out. Something about this I'm not too sure about. I'd like to get another push up. It'll probably work. I just don't like shorting that below the... We've got a leg there, possibly another leg. See if we can get one more attempt to push. One attempt, second attempt, see what happens. So I'm kind of glad I left that. I'd rather have a couple of attempts, really. It's a bit dirty. Yeah, that's going up anyway.
Order cancelled.
What would it have made? It is a second entry short, but it's just... you may have squeezed a point and a quarter out of it, but it's just too risky, that was. It's quite a tight range. What is it, about 7 points from top to bottom. Two attempts to go higher. Trouble is, I'd prefer that a little bit more bearish. Maybe that's the one that will come down below there. It's hard to say at the moment. Not only that, it's 14 ticks that, tick above, tick below. It's just too much risk. So we've got a channel down, 2 attempts to go lower, and it seems like it may come down, but I just don't like that bar, so I'm staying out of this. It's pretty choppy a little bit here, so it could make you... It crossed my mind when I mentioned it, actually. 8 points. I hope not. That's the last thing we need after, you know, COVID and all that sort of stuff. I think it just still amazes me how people just sort of keep fighting each other and fighting each other and fighting each other. You know, Russia goes in and invades another country. That's stuff we expected 100, 200 years ago. We've got to stop doing that, really. Stop getting involved in other people's business to a degree, I think. Yeah, but I am surprised to see that. Whether it was anything to do with it, I don't know. We've sort of known for a couple of days, sort of with Israel and Iran and places like that. We don't need another war, do we? That's quite a tempting bearish looking bar. Same again, it's too big at the moment. I don't want to get into a trade that big. You may say 1, 2, triple test. It still amazes me how little life's worth in some countries. It's crazy how people will people just seem to want to keep fighting, don't they? I know certain things are worth fighting for, but so I think, from what I can see there, it's almost like a spike in a channel. So maybe it's something we got a touch, and a touch. It's a big maybe because it's a bit early to tell because it could go so different. So we've had this anyway. So we've had the channel, we've had a break, we've had multiple pushes. We've actually had another channel with a break, 2 pushes up to a new high. We've come down and gone into a little bit of sideways. So we've made one attempt. We've actually made 1, 2, 3 attempts to go lower. So for me, I think it's likely we may continue up, which is why I'm just sort of looking to see if there is some form of a bigger channel, because if it does continue up, there usually is. Okay, there's no setup there really. I don't like that. You're up in the middle of nowhere up here, and it could come back to the EMA. So I have that gut feeling that it's going up. Just from what I'm seeing, it's strong so far, but who knows? It just could have another attempt and then drop like a stone. Trouble is, putting something like that, we've got this massive vacant area, which just looks a bit unnatural to me. Now it may continue up there later on. It may be a bit easier, but I would say, regardless of what I can see, I think there's a possibility of a leg up, a 2-legged correction. Let's put that somewhere around about there. That didn't quite play out. So I think there's a chance that's going to take us to where we've not been up here for a few days, maybe at the beginning of the week. So there is a chance that we can end up doing something like that. Let me just have a look on the daily. See what that's looking like now. Wow, That is a big bounce. That is a big bounce. Let me have a look. So, well, I hadn't noticed that. So, somewhere in the region of that anyway, and we've had a break, and that is a big bounce. So, I mean, that's a big bar anyway, isn't it? So, maybe there is something there. It's hard to say, isn't it? But that's, I mean, after that pulled down like that, a couple of big bars and they get a bit smaller. So, that's interesting. So this is our bullish pin bar in one. So we're up about more than I thought, actually. I was only thinking maybe 50 to 60 points. We're just shy of 100 points. I mean, at the moment, we've gone up 93 points, which is a fair old move, considering it's happened when we were up there in the overnights. So as it was obviously pushing up strong, people were getting involved. You know, a lot of the times overnight, it tends to go sideways and it's not the best trading. Okay, so we broke the highs again. There must be something larger here, surely. It's so odd. It may be some form of a spike and channel, but it is a bit early, really. Because we could just be finding some range tops. I don't think we are. Maybe we're coming to retest this and then we're going to push up some more. That would make sense. Maybe a break at a small high. I think it's probably best to assume we've had a small break and a new high. Whether that makes a difference. We had a break and a new high there. We came back and started pushing up again. About another 30 points. Straight up again. So okay, leg and a leg. Now what are we going to do? Indy, how you doing, buddy? Maybe this is one leg, two legs, maybe. Maybe one leg. Two legs. Great. Oh, Paul is all you. Excellent, mate. Excellent. I'm feeling good at the moment. A lot more positive. I look like things are aiming in the right direction finally, so long may it last for all of us. Okay, leg and a leg. Is this just sort of 2 legs back before we continue on up? God only knows. It's actually not been a bad week. I think I'm about, on each account, about $650 up per account, which is just under $2,000 for the week on the 3 accounts. And I haven't taken a lot of trades. I've only taken 4 trades. But there's been a lot more trades around this week. We had one day where there was a good solid 3 good setups. That setup yesterday that I got out for $50, the more a lot of people marked that, the more I looked at it, the more I realised I let the best trade go. It was an absolute pearler, that was. And stupidly, I panicked. That one there, that triple test, it was an absolute beauty. I had a funny day yesterday. I mean, we came down like that. We had 1, 2, 3. I mean, look at that for a triple test. You got a high-low there triggering. That was an absolute beauty, that was. I know quite a few mark, but the trouble is it started to come back, and for some reason I had my sort of nervous, doubty head on. So it was a second entry short and a nice triple test. It pushed up above everything and then dropped 1 tick off its lows. And eventually, when it sorted itself out, didn't it come down? Look, if I'd have been patient there, I mean, look at that. It came down nearly 10 points. But I had a day yesterday where I felt a bit nervous. I was a bit nervous taking trades. Strange, isn't it? So we got a channel with a break and a new low. We're getting close to these lows, and straight away we're right back at the top again. Now, it's hard to say what we're doing here, whether we're going to continue up or whether this is going to come down. It could be a leg a break, a couple of attempts to go higher, and then another leg down. I usually have a gut feeling, but at the moment, see, after 2 legs, I'm thinking up again, but usually there's a bigger channel or something that looks like a bigger channel. Maybe, I just don't know. Maybe that is 2 attempts to go lower and off we go again. Who knows? Yeah, so we had that drop, big drop, followed by, were we taking it all back? Speedy, how are you getting on with that guardian angel? How'd you get on yesterday with it? Any issues? I suppose you don't know until you have some issues. Really, I suppose it only comes in hand when you tend to have a loss or a couple of losses. Excuse me a sec. Are we going up here? I was looking for something here, but as soon as it came back to the EMA, it just took off again with about another 4 points. And the rest of it. Okay, there is a possibility that could be a downtrend. I'm looking on the NQ, and we've had a touch at the bottom, one touch and a second touch. See, I'm thinking long, but after this channel on the break, 2 pushes up to a new high. We had a new high there anyway, but we had 2 clear pushes. Now, am I just thinking bullish because we've had such a strong late morning, and because of that big bullish pin bar on the daily? So we got a leg of break and a new high. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. But if this comes down in a downtrend, this will do the same. Well, we hope. They're slightly different charts though. Up to there, they're pretty much the same, but that's where they change a bit. This is clearly the high. I don't know why I'm showing you. Yeah, they're pretty similar, but when this happens, they're quite different because we got a lower high there. This we got 1, 2, 3 touches on the NQ, so I have a feeling this may now be coming down, at least for a bit. So, I mean, they're almost identical up to this point. So, keep an eye on that. So, channel break new high, so I'm going to ditch that for the minute. Let's see how that finishes. I need that to finish below there, really. Okay, that's close enough. So, that's triggered below there, so let's see if that pushes up. I've got it wrong. 1, 2, 3.
Order submitted.
I just don't like that we got a bit of support along there. I think that'll probably work, but it's a little bit congested as well, so I'm just going to sit tight here.
Order cancelled.
I don't like it sideways. It could upset a few people here. Could trigger it and push up, stop that out. So I'm just going to sit tight at the moment. Okay, that's working. It's just gone a little bit sideways. You just don't know. Am I reading this picture wrong? And we're going to have a leg sideways and a leg. So that lower high worked, I would say, for a couple of points. Yeah, comfortably. Out for a tick, and then it's going to go. Where did you go? Up long or short, Chad? The only reason this to me is not necessarily looking like it's coming down, but this is the NQ is. Took it for 8, but it was on an eval. Yeah. I think I know what I'm seeing, but there is the low height. Yeah, but there is some doubt. It did work for 2, but it is a little bit congested. And there is a little bit support, so it just does make it more risky. And that ATR is a little high, so you've got to weigh up the odds. We're clearly sideways a little bit here. Now, it did work, but there is some support there. So, I mean, whether am I completely just, maybe I don't need to worry about that so much now. I'll tell you what, let's just ditch that and put this there for now as a bit of a range, and then we're up it. So sometimes if you carry it on, it can affect you. Sometimes I what's the word? See, there's a failure there which is triggered some longs, but that trend is over. Yeah, I think well, you got about that trend. See, I'm just wondering whether this is coming down. See, at the moment, if you think about it on the NQ, let's bring the NQ in. We've had that big channel, we've had a break, and we've had 2 pushes up to a new high. We have hit a new high here, but that to me is 2 clear pushes. Now, this to me looks like it's possibly coming down. Now, we know we've broken the highs of the day anyway. We know when we get a channel and a break and a new extreme, then the market can then start to reverse. Doesn't mean it's going to, but we got a touch here, and then we come down and we push up not as high, and then it's a little bit sideways here as well. If this was a little bit more clear, then I may have taken that one, but this to me is just a little bit unclear. So I think the best action is just to sit tight at the moment. If I'm not sure, I think I'm best just sit tight at the moment, because it is a bit congested. So just for now, I'm just going to remove that because I think it's more sideways at the moment. Trend is our friend, yeah. Yeah, that lower high did work. Did what it was supposed to. I think if you've got a tick below it, which was about here, it went 275. So you'd have been out if you'd have taken 2 points there. You'd have been out once it passed through there. So you're out plenty of time. My slight concern is it is a little bit sideways as well, and at the moment it almost looks like we're in the middle of the tops and the bottoms, and we're not sure whether we're going to be going along, going up some more or coming down. We've hit this area and we've been up here again, so we're making attempts to push up. So there is a higher low there, but same again. There is a flat area there that I can see there, and that's concerning me going along into there. It is support, and if it's not there, there's a little bit more further up. So at the moment, I'm just a bit on the fence as to what's going on. So the simple course is very completely sideways for now, but yeah. I agree, yeah. So trying to pick a direction, I think, is probably not the best idea at the moment, is it? Yeah, I mean, it's clearly going sideways. I think the trouble is when you see this, you're kind of looking, as well as knowing it's going sideways, it's always better to know if we push up and then we go sideways, a lot of the time we consolidate before we go up again. And I know that, so I'm still kind of looking for longs. The moment you considered opening a Discord server for a chat. I have, and I actually did it once, but it got spammed a bit and people were getting messages saying they were me and stuff like that. So I'm not very tech savvy. So I was approached by Tyler. Did I want to be involved in a Discord? And I said, yeah, so I did. I just don't, I'm not a member of it much at the moment because it's having the time to do it. But I can get it up and show you what it is. And if you want to start chatting it, just get it up. I don't know where it's going to pop up, by the way. So it's called the Trader's Den. There's a guy called Tyler runs it, and I think he messaged me, messaged Sam, and he messaged another streamer and said we'll be interested in becoming members of it. And I said yeah, but the trouble is when I'm streaming, it's hard to to have the time. But I'll bring it in. That's it there. That's it there. There's me up there. I'm saying I'm in. Let's get it up to date. Yeah. You can join that. I don't know. How do you... I'll have to figure out how to sort of get an invite thing for it, but I'm pretty sure if I just copy an invite, let me have a look. Yeah, but it's called the Trader's Den. That's the guy that owns it. And I'm in it, Sam's in it. I don't spend much time in it, to be honest with you, because a lot of my focus is on the streaming and the trading. So I'm just trying to think how you get an invite and I can drop it. How do I get an invite? I'll move it out of the way a minute and I'll figure out how I get a link and I can drop it in the comments. Okay, so there's another lower high there, but same again. Right here, so at the moment I'm a little bit unsure as to exactly what's going on here. Other than I think it's safe to say we're just ranging at the moment, so that's probably, let's get rid of these. I don't think I need these now. Yeah, we're clearly going sideways, aren't we? So yeah, okay. How do I get a link? I can always have this open if you guys want to chat, but I did do one before, but it got spammed, so I don't know how to control them. I don't know how to do the sort of secure side of it. I'm techie, but not very techie, if you know what I mean. I can always get by. I mean, it might be an option, really. It might be an option for me to look into it a bit more, because we can share. Trouble is with the comments here, it doesn't allow you to put pictures in. I don't know why. Hey Thomas, how you doing? It's nice to be up. Yeah. Is there any way you can? Okay, so what I'm going to do is do a little bit more research, and I'll see if I can figure out how to get it a bit safer. But yeah, I know what you mean. It is good to compare stuff, for sure. And we can do it here if you like. You can just join this one, and I'll I'm a member here as well. I'll have it up, and we'll But obviously you got to mix with loads of others. But I think the majority of people here. There's probably some of us in it anyway, but you probably know a lot of them anyway. You know Sam's in here as well, but Tyler's the one that actually owns it, or runs it, or owns it, or whatever you call it. But how do I get a... Tell you what, let me just put a message in it. I'll sling it out of the way a minute. What do you call it? A link? Not a link. What do you call it when you join? You get an invite. Okay. Is it an invite or a link? What's the word I'm looking for? Help me out here. Is it a link? It is a link, isn't it? Link. Let's put that. Okay. Yeah, I can fit it on my screen. That's all right, no problem. If I can get a link, then I'll post it, and that way, if anyone wants to join it, they can. I've got it open, so if you want to share something or whatever, it is useful to have more than just a few words, I think, isn't it? So let me have a look at this. So leg and a leg. Top of the window, the little arrow next to the name. Oh, that didn't work. Okay. Now, I'm not sure about going along there. It may work, but there does seem to be a little bit of a channel there. So I would suggest that would be maybe a target to stop out. It could go up, it might not, I don't know. I'm not brilliant at these, and for me it's just a bit of a punt whether it goes or not, so I'm just sitting tight there. So I can find it again. Does it not come up? Oh, yeah. For the window, the little arrow down next to the name. What little arrow? I should move on NQ, but won't enter long yet. Yeah. Yeah, see, the trouble is, after this and the break and the 2 pushes up, we could come down. We could just continue to come down. It's so hard to say. Well, I say could. I mean, literally, it is just a could. Top of the window, the little arrow next to the name. Next to what name? Not see no down arrow next to the name. Top of the window, the little arrow down next to the name. Sent it on Discord a bit. Okay. Let me have a look. So that's what I mean about me not being very tech. Hey Sam, how you doing? We're just chatting, mate, about this Discord. Just trying to get a link just to post. I can't figure out how to do it. Invite link is already in the description of the stream. Okay, there we go. Problem solved. If you look in the description of the stream, it's already there, apparently. There you go. Perhaps I'm more tech savvy than I thought. You have the link. Ah, there we go. Yeah. Okay, so it's in the, yeah, if you want to do it, I've got it up now anyway. I don't go in it a lot because the trouble is with streaming, sometimes it sucks up so much of your time, but I've got it on here now. So if you want to sort of post anything, questions or charts or whatever, yeah, there we go. Absolutely. Just someone mentioned if you can, Akitri, if you consider that. Yeah, I'm sure are you not a member of that Akitri anyway? I thought you were. Maybe you are. But yeah, there's a bunch of, I think most of us know each other anyway. You guys know Sam. Probably not Tyler so much. Sam, you definitely know. But yeah, okay, link in the description. So if you want to join it, then have a join it, then you can post it. I've got it up anyway, so it's up here. So if anybody does want to post anything or want to chit chat, then yeah, feel free. Okay, so now is there a bigger channel there? Probably Black Bait. Well, I can't find him all of a sudden. Where is he? I've just been looking. I thought he was wasn't he a moderator or something? Is that what we say it, moderator? I don't know. Now there's me and you. Payout certified, eh? You're up there, mate. And not only won twice now, aren't you? And in line for a third as well. I've not seen much of him lately. He's stopped streaming, hasn't he? He's taking support. Okay, his mother's. Okay, all right. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. My sympathies. I know that feels. I lost my mum just over a year ago, so yeah, it's not an easy time, is it? Okay, so let's have a look at this now. I think there's a bigger channel. I'm not thinking about taking a short here. Reasons being, because this NQ may be a channel, and if it is, we're right at the bottom. So if I was going to go short on the NQ, maybe it's not. Maybe it's it. I was going to say if I was going to go short on the NQ, down here wouldn't be it. That's common knowledge. He posts. Oh, did he? Okay. So yeah, feel sorry for him terrible times. Yeah, Now 20, but not 20. Yeah, I noticed, because I noticed he had 20, so I was just keeping an eye on him, and I think didn't he trade for a couple of weeks or something without a trade, so I thought something might be amiss. Yeah, okay. So maybe this is, I don't know, maybe it's just this is, I mean, we're on a channel of our own here anyway, but if we can get a second entry short here and here, trouble is I don't really like going short into that. All good, the score is, brilliant, okay. It's alright. Sam says I got it in the description, but I'm not techie enough to be able to back him up. But yeah, excellent anyway. I've got it up anyway. Oh, I got you. I see your chart. There you are. Look, you're famous. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Got you. I've got it. You took that one, yeah. I thought you said you did. Was it that one there, wasn't it? Was that the one? Yeah, it was. Was it that one? Your lower high. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Definitely worked, didn't it? Are we going to get a second entry short here? My trouble is, it's so close to that, the bottom of that potential channel. You took that same one. Yeah, I looked at it. I can't remember why I didn't take it now. It was a bit, I kind of see what's going on now. It's a bit congested, but I don't know. I seem to have gone a little bit extra cautious lately. I got out of yesterday I got out for 2 ticks of the best trade of the day, in my opinion. That triple test was an absolute perler. But for some reason, I had a day yesterday where I felt quite anxious. And I just wanted, as soon as I got into a trade, I wanted to get out. Due to that. Yeah, I think I had, didn't I have, so let's put it down there. I had something like that, didn't I? Was it there? Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I had this bottom as a range, so yeah, maybe that's why. Sometimes though, I get a little bit too cautious with these, and I think the bigger picture is what it is. So we got a leg down, and we went actually. In fact, you could even call that a triple test. Really, we've gone up once, twice, 3 times. Not only that, ticking above some longs, and then down it comes. So. I think that was okay as well, and probably that was just the next best thing. You're more risky when trading. Oh yeah, me mate. I'd have taken half a dozen by now if I'd taken. All I just do is wait for it to go in a certain direction and then just buy it or sell it. There's not a lot of thought goes into it with me. Yeah. It is amazing how crazy we get with them, isn't it? Okay, so I've got rid of that as a bigger channel. Maybe the bigger channel just stems from there. Yeah, I think that's probably right, actually. This is the NQ, so that fits kind of nice, actually. Yeah, so pushing down in there, and there is something bigger. I think I've gone from there to there, and it is fitting along the top as well. So I would say yesterday I was trading a 50k with 5 NQ contracts and passed it one day. Good on you, mate. Not did that with a PA now. But I have 10 active PAs. Good for you, mate. Good for you. It's a nice number, that is. If you can get them all to pay $2,000, that's a fair chunk of change, that is. $20,000, that's nice. Yeah, it's a nice number, that is. Sorry, trying to get that out of the way. Yeah, it's a nice number, that. Katri, do you ever hear of the Gorilla Guy again? Have you ever heard of him since? I was, in fact, I think I was talking to you at the time. I was about to sort of join him for a month just to give it a try. And I was chatting to a guy on Facebook, on Messenger about it. And he said he's going to sign up and he'll let me know how it got on. And then he sent me a message saying he'd paid it And he'd had an email half an hour later saying he'd been refunded his money because he was taking a break from trading. Whether it was a break from trading or a break from streaming, I don't know, but I haven't heard of him since. He was actually a nice guy. I kind of like what he had to say, but he just sort of disappeared, oddly enough. Tell me, yes, me lost 2 good PAs, only 500 away from payout. Yeah, that's a tough one, that is. I think most of us will know exactly how you feel. I think we're going to recover most of this, I think, aren't we? I was amazed how much price action we had leading up to the market open there. I mean, that is really rare, isn't it? Obviously, it was moving in a nice direction, which is why there was plenty of trades going on. Is there a bigger channel there? Maybe. Maybe a 2-tier channel. Everything happening in Israel. Yeah, true enough. He was a fighter pilot, was he really? Interesting. Oh, wow, some people have some really interesting lives that you find out about. Yeah, so, yeah, it's a bit messy over there at the moment, isn't it? Okay, are we getting a second entry short here, or are we going to have a break? That stopped right on that line. There is 2 legs up there. This may be worth a go. We'll have to see. It is a second entry short if it formed. I've just adjusted my chart, so I may sit tight on here. So if I put that back there, or there, maybe retesting the underside of this. Are we just testing the underside, or are we doing something completely different? Okay, excuse me a second. I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. I hope we don't miss anything. Okay. Right, this channel, there is a break on the NQ. That's a really nice, just for now, I'm going to put it like that. There's a nice looking channel with a break. So if we can get a lower high, this is likely to come down. If this does come down to these lows, the NQ will follow it. Sorry, the ES will follow it. So I'm just going to leave that there a minute on the edge. So we've had a channel, a break, and a new high. Let's just make this a bit smaller. Oh, shoot. How do I get that on the top? Always on top. There we go. Okay, there's a lower high there. For me, it's just a bit too above that EMA. If it triggers, it may pop back up. There's always that possibility. We've got a leg of brake. Yeah, I'm just going to sit tight here in a minute. There is a lower high forming on possible, but it is just possible. Let's get an order ready just in case.
Order submitted.
May have to be the failure, unfortunately. So channel down, one attempt to go higher. Okay, that lower high is triggered. I don't like what it's doing, which is why I'm staying out of it just at the moment. It may come down. Could be a leg and a push up. It's a possibility. We've already had a break at this channel, so I'm just sitting tight at the minute. Leg and a leg. It is a second entry long, that. So
Order canceled.
yeah, it was a bit too risky, that. Sitting on top of that EMA, there is always the possibility we could come back into this area here. Okay, I need us to get below here really. Once it's below here, I won't be thinking about shorts. I'd have preferred a little break here, but I'm just keeping an eye on that. That looks to me, after that really nice channel, that we're going to make a new low. Unfortunately, we're not far away from it now, so the chance of us getting a pullback here is a bit slim, I think. We're already down there, I think. Right, we're not quite at the lows on the NQ there. Nothing I can do there. Way too far from that EMA. Not only that, there is a possibility of a bit of an overshoot on that NQ. If there is, we could go a bit higher there. So I'm just going to have to sit tight there. Took that bull bar for 4 ticks. That one there. Yeah. Test. It's only 2 really, I think. I wouldn't even consider that the first one, to be honest with you, because it's really just on the way down. Bottom. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. So we've already made a new low. I'm still not ready to go. Well, I got mixed feelings on here because we haven't made a new low from the NQ, but there may be a bit of an overshoot there, so that may create a correction or a reversal. So, I mean, if this is some form of a bigger range, I'd expect to get a little bit further down here. We've got a leg. I'd expect another leg to at least get us down to this area here. So I would have suggested there's probably still more to go. But that's just my gut feeling. So maybe there is 1, 2, 3. I have a feeling there's more to go. Just when I see a leg. See if this holds here. there's something larger on that. I keep getting rid of this chart, but I keep bringing it back in. 1 minute, I think I can just keep it to the side. But if I'm explaining what I'm seeing personally, it's easy with it in. Let's just ditch it for now. I'm just going to move this out of the way a minute. Let's try and figure out what the hell's going on here. We've definitely got some support here. So I'm going to move this to here. And are we got this, then some more. There is a possibility of the range here. Leg down, sideways. So 1, 2, 3, same again, triple test. Okay, that's interesting. Possibly a foul breakout. Are we going lower? Maybe there is something larger. It's just too early, really. Are we getting a lower high here, trapping them longs? Leg in a leg. Looks like it. Trouble is, there's no room to the lows, is there? There is a second entry short there. Trouble is, it's far from the EMA, that's the trouble.
Order submitted. Order
No,
cancelled.
it's a bit congested there. It's just going to drop and take out a load of long stops. Short stops, rather. Long stops, my mistake. There's a possible failure there. Trigger one, trigger. Triggered that bull bar. Trouble is, we've closed outside here again, so. Yeah, there is a failure there. But it's also a bit congested and a bit choppy, so it could do anything here really, so I'm just sitting tight. We still haven't made a new low on the NQ. Channel down, 2 attempts to go higher, so we could still come down. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. There's kind of a triple test on the NQ. It's not a triple test with a nice signal bar, but after this channel and a break, we've only made one attempt to go lower, so we could try again. I'm not sure. It's hard for me to read today. Yeah, you're not alone there, mate. I'm finding them hard to read today. If you know which sort of direction to trade, obviously you're halfway there, but usually what I've noticed when we do this sideways, we come down a bit sideways, we come down a bit sideways, there's usually a bigger channel, but I can't for the life of me find how one would work. I've tried and I've tried. Trouble is, I mean, you could say that's okay, but then we touched it here, and then we got this big vacant area, so there is a possibility, but I'm not confident in it because I don't like what we've missed here. If you take that and bring that to the top, then you've missed this. So it kind of looks not terrible, but it just doesn't look quite trustworthy enough either, really. So we've got a leg up. We could do something like this and then off again. It's kind of like a bull flag. So this sideways bit here and then this bit is throwing me a bit, but I think at the moment, if I'm reading things right, that NQ, we've had that channel and it hasn't made a new extreme yet. It's tried to, so maybe that's enough, but I wouldn't be shocked if that does come down here and try again. So at the moment, this to me has got a slight bearish feel to it, the NQ. But same again, the problem is if you decide to go short, there's also some congestion. So you go short and it comes back into the range. So I'm a bit on the fence at the moment. You know, there's plenty of times where you're not sure what's going on. But I think the best thing to do is just accept the fact that when it goes sideways, the volume drops because no one really knows what's going on. So traders stay out of it. And if the best in the business aren't trading it, then it just goes to show. I used to get frustrated because I couldn't work out what was going on. And then when I heard Max say the skilled traders are just staying out of this stuff. So if they're staying out of it, it's common sense. They don't know what they're looking at and what to do. So the best option we've got really is just to follow what they're doing and just, you know, stay out of it until we see some sort of some form of direction. In fact, I'm going to get rid of that because it's going to affect my choice at the moment. So we've been up here, we've been down here a few times. So, you know, I think there's a fair chance we could come further down here. We've made a few efforts. We've been up once, that one which failed a bit, and the third time which failed monumentally. So I think there's a good chance we could come down here. And on the NQ, same again, I think there's a chance we could come down and, you know, touch these bottoms or break these bottoms. So I would say my thought process at the moment is we're slightly biased just at the current moment. And I would like to see two little attempts to push up that fail and then we come down to the bottoms. That's all I've got at the moment. Failing that, I don't know. But I try not to get too hung up about not knowing what I'm looking at, because the simple answer is if you're not sure, you just stay out of it. See, there could be a lower high. It's come a bit too far for a lower high, really. Trouble is, if you go short there, it could bounce here at the midline and push up. Excuse me. Okay. I think it's likely it's going to come down. You just don't know, though, how it's going to react to that midline. Yeah, it's come too far, that as for a lower high. It's only really a first entry. Now, as we seem to be going sideways, I think the chance of it coming down is good anyway, but it is only a first entry, so there's nothing I can really do there. That's more of a lower high there. I used to take these sometimes as a lower high, and I've just picked up on Max saying it's just come too far. That's a move down. This is just a pullback. Unfortunately, it's only a first entry, so as well as it might work, I just still can't take it. Come on, let's have a pullback here. It does look like we're having another attempt on that NQ to make the lows after this. So we've had quite a push down. I'd like to see a pullback now. If we can get a bit of a break, another attempt, we may get something. Come on, let's have a pullback. Come on, baby. Pull back for Lansing. Come on. Come on, give us a pullback here.
Order submitted. Order canceled.
Sorry. It's all right. I haven't really said much, to be honest with you. You just noticed that, and I just noticed I got on red. I don't know why I touched it. No, I haven't said much anyway. Don't worry. You haven't missed much. Don't I talk enough? I thought you'd appreciate the peace and quiet. I think there's probably some going, yeah, he's finally shut up. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like all this sort of chopping up and down. I mean, there is comfortably 10, 12 points from top to bottom, but we got a leg down, a couple of attempts higher. I just wasn't sure about that. I'd have preferred to get out from the EMA, and this wasn't a massive amount, so you just don't know. This is trying to get down, but it seems to be struggling, and that's my concern, that it just pushes up. We had a channel down there with a break. We came down and made one attempt, pushed up. We came down and made a second attempt, so this just could turn tail and push up. So I just don't want to get caught short. Let's have a look. We still haven't got here yet. It'll only make so many goes before it starts to turn. Okay, we're a tick off. Okay. That low has finally played out, so it did work. It did what it was supposed to. We had a break. Eventually came down. I mean, if I was 100% confident that it was coming down, well, wouldn't we all? I'd have taken that one. And there was a second entry short there, which I didn't think looked that bad. Perhaps I should have trusted that sign. In fact, it looked actually better than this, didn't it? That is. The trouble is that with that second entry short there, that was clearly above the EMA. That was nicely below the EMA and the NQ. So perhaps I should have just trusted that one. And it did what it was supposed to. In a little channel break. Couple of pushes up, second entry short, maybe trapping some longs in a higher low, thinking we're going to be pushing up. It eventually came down. I'm just extra cautious at the moment, especially when it's doing this sort of stuff, a little bit choppy. Although it's still readable at the moment, it hasn't been the easiest of days. There's been a lot of volume today. I mean, we had that leading up into the market open. We'd had all that, which is a lot of volume, really. But it's obviously moving strongly down at first and then up. And while it's doing this, traders are going to be shorting it. So if it's doing that, you're looking for an entry straight away, aren't you? And vice versa. Probably that triple test is probably the only one I'd go for there. There is a second entry along there, but you're close to the highs. It clearly work, but it's just one of those ones. They work when you know they work, but so right, I'm just going to take a quick 5-minute break, make a cup of coffee. There's my 5-minute breaky thingy-majiggy. There we go. Okay, I need a cup of coffee. So I'm going to leave you with that a second. I'll be about 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, I didn't miss much. Are we now finally going to start to push down? Leg down, break new low. Made multiple attempts to go higher. We haven't got to the tops there. Maybe that's just a leg and a leg. Let me just have a look at this. I keep doing this, but I can't seem to find something where I'm comfortable with what I'm looking at. Who knows? Who knows? No, I think it's more sideways. I mean, sideways with a sort of downward feel for it. Okay. Yeah, it definitely. I'm just going to bring this NQ in a bit quickly. It definitely looks like a downtrend on that NQ. Touch a little bit of a put there, but I'm not too concerned about that. But we're clearly working down. There's no argument there. So maybe that will work down. I don't know. I'm just staying out of it. Sometimes when you get a push up and a big bear bar like that, it'll trap you. And it's 19 ticks as well. So I'm just sitting tight at the moment. Maybe there is a channel there. Possible second entry short. I don't mind that, but it's just a bit too far from that EMA for me. I prefer it. It's probably going to work, but I'm just sitting tight. I'd have preferred a slightly bigger pullback than that, at least it to touch the EMA, and it hasn't, so it's just concerned me a bit. Now there's a double bottom. Whether that will mean anything or not, I don't know. I prefer to get a little bit closer than that. This could rip up a little bit. we are testing this. In fact, that can go down a tiny fraction. That might look even better. We've tested it again there, so that for me as a signal bar is a little bit too far from that EMA. Sometimes when you get these slightly weak positions, they get taken out, and that's what concerns me about taking that. I'd much prefer that to push above there and come down and the body closer. It's just too far. It's right at the bottom, really. And that to me is a weak position, and my experience is weak positions, there is some support there, weak positions have a habit of getting stopped out. Market has a habit of eating them up. There's a failure there. That might be a better option.
Order submitted.
See if it comes back and get me. No, damn it. Oh well. See if we have a bit of a pullback. That quick, unfortunately. I didn't have a chance to get anything.
Order cancelled.
I'll be surprised if it gets stopped out. Well, that one might, this one, maybe not. I don't know. Woof. There's definitely some stops there, that's for certain. That'd have been the safer one. As soon as it broke above there, wham. It was just too big by the time it finished with it. What did it go down for? Yeah, nothing. It was just massive by the time it finished. When this bar came back, I was very tempted to go short with a limit order, but considering how strong that bearish bar is, the way it dropped and shot up tells me that there's some buyers there. So I decided against it, and it was a good decision to make. Right leg and a leg. Are we having a... triple test there? 2, 3.
Order submitted.
I'm just sitting tight here.
Order cancelled.
Just in case. Okay, there's a second entry short there. Possible triple test. My slight worry with this is we're ranging as well. This may be a fell breakout, so it may trap them and push up. Equally, it could just come rocketing down. So it would have to be a lower high to get me in there, unfortunately. Because it is a bit sideways and a bit choppy, and that could shoot out and take out anything. Be a fell break out of this. I mean, once, twice. It's a bunch of times. It's holding there. So we've broken out of it, and we've had two relatively strong bars which have just pushed straight above the EMA. So a second entry short there is a little bit risky. Now, would I not go long? No, I'm not a fan of going long either, because I like that channel. And it could come down and make a new low. I think the more important thing is the range. But I have a feeling we're going to have a leg and another leg. So I think we probably will. But I need to see something a little bit. In fact, there's a really big, strong bar and a triple test on the NQ. So that's probably going to come down. So if we trap some longs here, that may be a channel.
Order submitted. Order cancelled.
Yeah, it's been a tough day to read it today. There's been quite a lot of chopping about. We got a touch. Could be a channel down. Not massively over keen on it. 2 attempts go higher. This could come down, but it might not. I'm not confident in what I'm seeing today. I thought there was some form of a downtrend there. Maybe there is, but I can't seem to find something that I'm confident with. We only sort of hit. Well, I mean, it may be something like that. I don't know, but it's not jumping out at me in excitement. Put it that way. I've got no problem with finishing on 0 today. It's not been a bad week for me. I'm up over my 3 accounts, $650 per account this week. Is Lance taking a break, or did his long-suffering wife finally poison his? No, I'm still here, mate. I'm just mulling over the day. And incidentally, I'm the long-suffering partner, not my wife. She's out, actually. She doesn't work Friday. She's out spending our money. My money, our money. Probably her money, actually. I was just contemplating nipping downstairs and grabbing my bottle of Lafroig Select and having a quick single malt. But the last time I did that, 3 hours later and 10 evaluations blown, I've decided not to drink on the job. Yeah, it's. I mean, we know what's been going on, but trouble is, when we do this sideways and we come down a bit, then we do this sideways and we come down a bit and do this sideways, it's usually a channel. The same going up, really. We pushed up, sideways, pushed up, sideways, pushed up, sideways. But it's usually easier to sort of work out what's going on. That there's a bigger channel there, but I can't seem to find anything that really, that actually might not be too bad. I can't find nothing which really sort of excites me. Makes me sort of believe what I'm seeing. I do lack confidence sometimes. A lot of times when I see these channels and I mark them up, and I notice Mac marks them and marker marks them and people like that. So sometimes I tell myself to have a little bit more belief. That actually doesn't look too bad. It kind of works. Trouble is, we're also going sideways. So what's more important? I seem to remember Mac saying that range rules are more important. If it's ranging, because obviously we can have channels. I mean, look there, we got a channel there, haven't we? But as soon as at the bottom of the range, what did it do? It didn't have a break in a new low. It rocketed straight up to the top. So sometimes, like with that channel there, we had a break in a new high, but other times it just doesn't. This one here, it just can't. I mean, you could argue whether we've had a channel a break there. I don't think we have. That fits kind of nice actually, but we've just come down and bounced. And off we go. So the range seems to be following, what's the word I'm looking for? It seems a bit safer at the moment, but this, it could come down. I don't know anyway. Trouble is, how long have I been here for now? 2.5 hours, and I've had the patience of a saint. I'm quite happy that I've got no trades. It doesn't bother me that, the numbers. I've stopped worrying about trying to make money and trying to get loads of trades. I'm just more concerned about finding an opportunity and taking it. If there's no opportunities, there's absolutely nothing I can do. So I've given up even just worrying about it. I just play the game. It's my job to sit here and look for a setup or look for an opportunity. And if no opportunity arrives, then I walk away. There's nothing more I can do. So if I walk, someone told me once, follow the trades, get the trade and write, and the money will follow, I guarantee it. It's something I've never forgotten. And sometimes you could be sat here thinking, I want to get some money before the end of the day. I think really the safest option is to forget about the money and just focus all your energy on finding a setup, finding it, believing in it and committing. And the money is just a byproduct. It's a good byproduct, but nonetheless, it's trying to focus and get that job right. I'm pretty sure when a brain surgeon is doing microsurgery on someone's brain, he's not thinking about how much he's earning for that operation. He's thinking about making sure the guy survives. So, not that I'm comparing my skills to a brain surgeon. But nonetheless, I've got to sit here and wait for a setup. If I don't get one, then my job is done. I'm trying to be very, what's the word about it? Very black and white about it. No, what's the word I'm looking for? Very robotic about it. Forget about the money. The trouble is, when you start trading, most people start trading because they hear stories about people earning shed loads of money. And sometimes you get blinded by it. You lose a bit of money, and instead of thinking about the picture, okay, so I'm up maybe $2,000 or $1,000 this month. Damn, I've lost $400. I'll go on tilt. Ultimately, it matters what you get over a month. if you're paying yourself monthly or whatever, or over 2 months. But, you know, a day says nothing about a trade. The best traders in the world will have a bad day. Doesn't mean they go on tilt. They just know that overall they're going to be earning, you know, they're going to be winning more trades than they lose. And it is just focusing on the job in hand as opposed to the rewards. And if you focus on the job, the rewards will find their way. That actually looks much better. So yeah, if I don't take any trades, I'm not letting it bother me in the slightest. I'm patting myself on the back to say that I've followed the rules, I've played the game correctly. And there you go. So, lag and a lag. We're definitely, since we've had this high, we're definitely working down. There's no argument there. There's definitely a bias to the downside. But obviously it's finding an entry. We got a couple of legs up there. We got to break a new high. I couldn't take that one because I am aware that there's some sideways stuff as well, and that could throw a hammer in the works. So my gut feeling was this was coming down, but gut feeling is sort of secondary, really. Okay, we're at the bottoms. What's this NQ doing? Yeah, the NQ's doing exactly what I thought it would, but it's very slow about it, and the slower it is, it doesn't fill you full of confidence. Well, clearly downtrend in there anyway, so we had another, what looked like a trend there. We had a touch there, touch there, touch there, touch there, and we had a break in a new low. Same with there, we had a break, a couple of legs up, and eventually found its way to the new lows. So that's clearly coming down. So it's a little more clear there. The whole sort of from the top fits in relatively nice. I don't know if I just take this up. Yeah, see, it's a different story there, isn't it? I think that's the safer option. There's a touch there, a touch there, and a touch there, and it actually fits nicer. I mean, look, you can see where it's turned there, there, and there, exactly where you'd expect it to. So for me, that's clearly a channel now. So what I'd like, as well as it's been sideways, I'd like a couple of legs up it for it to retest the underside of this, and then maybe look for a short. It'd be nice to get a trade today, but ultimately, it's not really a concern as long as I sit here and do what I'm supposed to. Yes, I watched a video and this guy said, I started making money when I stopped worrying about making money. That makes sense. He was so focused with making money, and the trouble is when you see your bank balance going up and then you have a losing trade and you see it go down, it tends to get inside your head. But if you forget about making money and just think about looking at the balance at the end of the month, a lot of that sort of frustration, the ups and downs, I mean, it's like going on a hike, isn't it? Sometimes you're going to be walking uphill, sometimes you're going to be walking downhill. Ultimately, you're going to get to your goal at the end of the day. Okay, so let's have a wee look at this. So, possible second entry short there. This is where I want to retest this. We're clearly a downtrend, but I'd like to test this underside. It doesn't necessarily have to get as high as here, as long as it's close. You could bring that down to there and it works just as well. In fact, it probably works even better. But I'm going to keep it to as high as I dare. Just wasn't a massive fan of that bar. There is possibly a little overshoot there. My concern was we're going to have a push up and we're going to have a break and come up to touch there and close below there. Okay, excuse me just for a second. Okay, measured legs played out. So whether you take it from there or there, sorry, from there or here. Let's have a look. Okay, another 15 minutes, I think. 20 minutes. Let's get to past. And then I'm done for the weekend, I think. Got 16 points. Good on you, mate. Where'd you go from? Up here somewhere, did you? I'm assuming up here. Good on you, bud. You're 16 point. I haven't taken a trade today. I got close, but nothing. Didn't want to get crazy. Oh, bless you. That's over 16. I was very tempted by that one. I mean, we got one push up, two pushes up. Trouble is, we got a channel there which looks like there may be a bit of an overshoot, so I just get a bit extra cautious. So I'd have waited for, well, I tend to would have waited for the lower high there. If we'd have got a lower high, then I may have had a go at that one. You just never know. That's fitting nice and tight there. And then all of a sudden that bar pops out. So I've been caught out by very, very small breakouts before. I remember messaging Mac once and saying, why did that fail? It was a perfect channel, perfect second entry short, perfect. And he said, we've had an overshoot. I went, it was a tiny piece. It was literally a quarter of a bar. He went, sometimes it can be as tight as that. So, well, I see it was like that basically. So if ever I see something like that, I just go, after an overshoot, I'm just extra cautious. I tend to stay out. On the rare occasion, I may have a go in the direction. If you overshoot at the top and we get like a failure or a lower high, then I may have a go back to the EMA, but just went for the measured move, yeah. This looks like it's going to drop, doesn't it? See, on the NQ, we're already close to the lows. If I just bring that NQ chart in quickly. Yeah, we're not far off the lows here already. We've had this channel. It looks a bit neater than the other one. Well, I say it does. It's touching here, isn't it? But we had the same sort of big drop and then the same push up, same break. But we're nearly at the lows. What are we, 20, 30 points from the lows, which in the grand scheme of things on the NQ is relatively small. We're still quite got a ways to go here. We're still 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 46 points away from the lows, which with the ES is a lot. Let's ditch that. Yeah, see, although it is a bit of a channel and we've had an overshoot out the bottom, it's also a bit of a range. It's a drop out of the range as well, I think. So, I mean, you could realistically bring that range to around about down there. So we've had a small fail, a bigger, well, we've dropped out there again and retested. Now it's down, so I wouldn't necessarily now consider this an overshoot. From what I can gather, we're coming down. I think we're going to take a lot of this back. 10 more minutes and I am done. Sorry if you can hear howling in the background. That's my dogs. My wife's home. I'd say there's quite likely a bigger channel there, I think. Yeah, I'm just looking for the day. I think the only one that I missed I would take, well, I don't know about miss, but at the time I had it drawn here was that one there. That one there. It was a second entry short. Excuse me a sec. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on here. Is there a bigger channel? Maybe. 2 legs up, second entry short there. It's just too far for that EMA for me. There may be a bit of an overshoot. We may get a decent pullback. I don't know, but I'm just staying out of this. It's just looking a bit trappy for me. This is just too far down. This is may work, but I want to get up here first, really. Leg up, leg up. There is a second entry short, but I think that's likely to get stopped out personally. Oh, yeah, I see. It's alright, it's been sent a photo. I got you. Yeah. So you went there, didn't you? Yeah, leg break, new high. Yeah. I got you. In fact, you know what? I'm going to remove that for now. I think that is a safer option. We'll go inside. We had a failed breakout, 2 attempts to go higher, and then we started in this channel. I'm focusing on this as a channel, and not necessarily an overshoot. Maybe it's just the bottom of a larger one. I don't know. I want a couple of decent attempts to push up first before I think about going short. Coming to the end, 5 more minutes and I'm done. I'm green and it's Friday, so I'm done. Good for you, mate. Good on you. I always like to be green. Well, or zero. Zero I'm okay with. I've got no issues with that. But yeah, red's not great, is it? Although, having said that, it's not affecting me lately for the last 4 weeks. Losing trades aren't affecting me. They just stopped as soon as I decided to get that Guardian Angel, even though I never actually got around to buying it. So I think it's just finally my brain's starting to finally trying to pick the words here. Trying to play the game. $6 at the latest is my trading window anyway. My new rules are between 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. That gives me enough time to get to the screen and enough time to shut everything down and set my stream ready for Monday morning. Or Monday afternoon for me. My biggest run is 70 points. Good grief! I had 24 once on a on an evaluation maybe a year or so ago. 24 points I think it was. We had a really big range and I just went short of the top and I just held and it just went down. 70 points. Wow, that's what you want, isn't it? Trouble is you just never quite know when it's going to happen. Yeah, I bet. 70 points. Stick to semi-short things. Yeah. You do change and develop, don't you, as a trader? You do sort of make your own mould, so to speak. You find your own design, how you fit into the market. We sort of, and I think we change, don't we, as we sort of develop. Some things suit us more than others. Some people can sit there quite happily. I find I like to get in and out. So, I mean, when I first started to learn to trade, the guy I learnt with, he said to me, you never quite know whether you're going to make a scalper or more of a day trader or more of a swing trader. Depends on your personality, but after you've been trading a while, you'll generally sort of veer to a certain way. And I think, as you guys know, I'm quite wired and my mind works quite quick. It's quite happily working at 1.5 speed, so it does seem that this suits me, but I do like to get in and out relatively quickly. But yeah, I just day trading I don't think too bad. I couldn't be a swing trader. I don't think. I don't want to put something in and wait 2 days to find out what's going on, or even longer. But I do like getting in and out. You're done, aren't you? The longer you're in the market, you just never know what's going to happen, do you? I like to get in and out. Obviously, the thing is with this, you don't have a lot of time to think. So you've got that added. See, we may not even have had a break there. So hard to say. You've got that added. Well, we probably have now. We've got that added side to it that, things can go. You've got to make very quick decisions, and you don't always have enough time to make the right decision. And I would say a lot of our losers, once you've been doing it a while, a lot of our losers sometimes are down to just making a simple mistake. Not having a lot of time to think about it. We've got to make quick decisions, and you're not always going to make the right one. Most of the time you are. What I often target previous measured moves. Yeah, measured moves are so powerful when you can, you understand how markets work with legs and stuff. They are so powerful. And it still blows me away how accurate they can be as well. Literally to the nearest tick, it literally turns on a dime and off in the, touches that to the nearest tick, and then off it goes. It still amazes me, really. You wouldn't think markets can be that accurate, but it just goes to show how traders work. They set these areas, they put their target, and they get out, and as soon as they take the profits, things change. Yeah. They all look the same to me. Yeah, Watchett talks about that long, doesn't he? Thomas Wade, market geometry, how accurate it is. What do you remind me? What you trade again? You trade? Is it range bars or something, or not? What did you send me? Let me have a look at the picture. What was it there? Is it range bars? I'm sure someone. Is it not you who trades range bars or has range bars, or was it somebody else? And when you zoom out and look at these measured moves, yeah, like it on well. What said? I stopped that. Where did I? Oh yeah. Oh, you stopped that one. Now I can't really tell. No, you're obviously trading the same as me, aren't you? Yeah. You're just trading the 2000 tick chart, aren't you? Yeah, I think you are. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, the one thing I like about these is they're all very. If you look at the 2-minute chart, it can vary so much, can't it? Size-wise, the 2-minute chart. It's not so bad today, but 2-minute chart can go from being smooth to being massive bars and then small, tiny bars. Yeah, it's pretty consistent today. Tick chart is king. Yeah, it seems to be, doesn't it? Who'd have guessed? Yeah, I agree with you, mate. It's all I use, really. Occasionally I'll look at... I mean, I used the 1500 tick chart of the NQ just to get a second opinion on this, just to check I'm, understanding that we're going in the right direction. Is this bottoming? Are we going to push up a little bit now? One-time chart. Weird. Yeah, it is weird, isn't it? Sometimes you can get tiny little bars and then we get bigger bars, and yeah, it does, doesn't it? I mean, obviously, in a minute or in 2 minutes, there can be a lot more trades. The market be a lot more volatile at certain times of the day. There is a second entry short there. I'm kind of not sure what's going on now. There may be something like that. I don't know. Maybe just... That might work, actually, the second entry short. It's at the key entry point. But this bigger channel, there is a chance there's an overshoot, so we could push up a little bit. Where did I initially have it? It was there, I think. So if we got something like that... in fact, I could go to there, couldn't I? Yeah, where'd you draw the line? That's the trouble. I think the safer option is to assume we had an overshoot. So it could continue down, or it could come back into that. So I'm just not sure. If I'm not sure which direction I think the market's going, I'm just staying out of it. We're still coming down. Price is still being held by that EMA. There, it is a second entry short, but it's sideways and down a bit. So I'm not sure whether this is flattening out for the... Well, it clearly worked. Whether this is sort of flattening out. There's a little double bottom there, so you don't know whether it's going to push up a little bit, maybe making a couple of attempts, because I'm just not confident in knowing where we're going to go at the moment. We have got a bit of an overshoot, a bit of a channel, so it could push up a bit. So I'm just a bit on the fence as to what's going on at the moment. It's been a bit like that through parts of the day. See, sometimes a simple 2 pushes up like that can trigger a trade and it can work. But I just don't know at the moment. I'm just not a massive fan of what I'm seeing here. You don't know, because we're at the bottom of an overshoot, whether it's going to trap a few shorts and then rack up. Let's see if I look on the NQ at the moment. We've had that channel, haven't we, which it doesn't look that bad, and all of a sudden we've had a drop out of it now, see. So we could trap a few longs and then just literally rock it up. We're close to the lows here, so I'm just not sure where I think this market's going to go at the moment. We're clearly working down, but now we're below a lot of this. You're looking at the 49. You think we're going to come down that low, do you? 77. Yeah, is it making a bit of bottom in here? Are we now going to make a bit of a move up? I'm not sure. So I'm just not getting involved at the moment, because we could have a push. Surely it's going to set into an uptrend. I'd expect to get some form of a pullback, at least. I mean, we've come down, we've pulled back, we've come down, we've pulled back, we've come down, we've pulled back. We're due something, I think, aren't we? Especially as that looks like there's been a bit of an overshoot out of, or it could just continue. I got no idea where I think it's going to go at the moment. I think it's likely we're going to come down to these lows. We have on the NQ, we're not far off the lows. But at the moment, we could just bottom off with a quick push up for a bit. Just going to miss this a minute. So you could take that in there and say there's a bit of an overshoot. So I just don't know. I found it hard to read at times, especially when it's doing this, whipping up and down quickly. It's clearly ranging, but the trouble is, I mean, every time we get to the top, we're hitting at different levels. Yeah. 4x with Chris, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, you'd think so, wouldn't you? And not only that, what I find sometimes, the slower it moves in a direction, the quicker it moves in another direction. If it's really slowly grinding down, I sin this sometimes. I see this and I'm thinking we're going to push up, and I see some poor positional trades to go long, and it really struggles, and all of a sudden, wham, it comes down. So I find if it's not moving freely in a direction, I expect a quick flush. And at the moment, we're doing this down slightly, but, you know, so you don't know whether it's going to trigger some shorts, and then woof, up we go. We've got a little double bottom there, and we've got another point there, so this could just push up and take out a few shorts. Mind you, if I'd have taken that trade, I'd have been out by now anyway, but at the moment with this, I'm just not sure what I'm expecting it to do. It could trigger you there and push up, and we could have a couple of legs. So unless I'm pretty sure what direction we're going in, at least you know the overall direction, but see, that really is a triple test. There's been an overshoot of the bigger channel, which I think is a bigger channel. I noticed Marco marked it as well, which is why I put it back. The issue I have with that, and it's fitting all right, I think, is this is an overshoot, and if it is an overshoot, lots of the times it can correct. I'd expect at least a correction, a couple of legs up, and then maybe down some more, or sometimes it just comes up, comes a bit lower, makes a flat out reversal. So I'm expecting something else rather than this continuation sideways and down a bit. We got 1, 2. That is a triple test after an overshoot. That could just rock it up. I wouldn't take it. It's more of a counter trend trade for me. Until I get some direction we're going up, it just doesn't interest me. I know where I think it's going to go, but it's just a gut feeling. But it's not. Yeah, it's more of a punt than a straightforward yes, we're going long and I'm going to take a setup. It's known the context of the market is half the battle. You can learn to take you can learn what a second entry is in 5 minutes, but it's applying it to that context, and that's what half our day tries to work out where the hell the market's going. We know what setups, we just need to make sure we know what direction we're taking them in. And sometimes when it does this, the overall picture is easy. You can see we're going up, you can see we're coming down, but the trouble is if you don't get the setup right, it can soon whip up, take your stop out, and then it ends up going in the same direction. But unfortunately, we're not day traders, or I'm certainly not. I can't put an order in here, and it doesn't matter what it does here. I tend to be in and out with a couple of points. So this, these little moves have a massive impact on my entries. So I need to be clear. I know where the market's going before I get in. So that clear overshoot, an overshoot on there. I wasn't sure whether we were going to continue down, but maybe something like that. But it's very sideways and stemmy. So I can't rely on that. Having said that, it could still break this and come down. But this is just telling me, just be careful. You think 1, 2, 3 triple test triggers you, stops you out. So you've got to be so careful. You may think second entry short. Yeah, you'd have got points, but it eventually comes out if you think it's coming down. So I've got the day drawn as one big down channel. Something like that. I'm assuming not the whole day. I'll be struggling how you can fit that into the downtrend. Unless your downtrend entails something like that, which is probably a bit of... You got no overshoot, you know. Yeah, I mean, the trouble is, you never quite know where it's working from. Now, you could put it there, but you could fit it anywhere, really. You know, you want it touching in certain places. So let's think about this. If we bring this down and we go from this top here, the bottom naturally falls there, doesn't it? Yeah, so we've got a touch there, okay? Probably take that down a bit. So the natural bottom is here, isn't it? And if we look down, it actually fits, so we can take that up a touch. So we've got a touch and a touch. So I don't think that looks... Visually, it looks okay. So that, to me, is an overshoot. And then we've moved sideways, and we're not really sure what to do. Now, this, to me, looks like it's bottoming. And we've had 1, 2, 3, well, 4 touches on that line, and all of a sudden we've had a quick swift, that bar shot straight through the MA. So are we just making a couple of more attempts and then we're going to continue on our merry way? I'm not so sure. I know the overall bias is down at the moment. Oh, shit. Sorry about that. Someone just sneaked up behind me. So... yeah, after this, you don't know whether we're going to... You know, sometimes we'll do this and all of a sudden, within the space of 10 minutes, we'll be up here. Market will start tearing off. So you don't think there's an overshoot. Yeah, it's hard to say, really. For me, that visually looks not too bad, and I can see 2 areas where it's touching that's not too bad. So if I bring that down to there, it could be. But I think with my experience, I always prefer to, if I think it's had an overshoot, I'll assume it's had, because after an overshoot, I generally don't continue on to go short. I like to let it sort itself out. So I always think sometimes it's safer to, if you think there's an overshoot, just to assume you have and don't automatically get straight back into a trade. But we could have a really big reversal now. I mean... we could rock it up here now for a bit. We could end up here. Right back up here in 10, 15 minutes, couldn't we? And that, in one sense, is almost like a push-up, like a bull flag. Perhaps it's more of a bull flag, and we dropped out the bottom, and now we're going to end up rocking up. I'm not sure. But it is a bit hard to read today. If you start off the big downtrend of the second swing, you on about there? Second swing. Hold on a minute. Let me read that again. If you start the big downtrend off the second swing from the top body and don't have any overshoots, it looks pretty good. So the second swing. Are you on about that one there? Because we're more or less there now. Are you on about... where are you on about? Are you on about here? I don't know. That's the trouble. It's hard to tell, really, isn't it? I'm leaning towards more of an uptrend occurring. Yeah. Yeah. It's so hard to tell, isn't it? I mean, it could just rock it up, couldn't it? Yeah, it's hard to do. That's the trouble, really. It's hard to try and describe something when the market's giving it that all day long. It's you're on about the second swing. So that's what I would consider the top. That's the top of the day anyway, isn't it? The body of the second higher low from the high of the day. The second higher low. Higher low. Let me think about this. You're on about that one, number 1 or number 2? You're talking about there. 1, 2, or 3. 1, 2, or 3. It can't be 2 because we're already there now, aren't we? You're on about the body, so you're on about the bodies here somewhere, aren't you? Okay. Yeah, I guess. Well, they all cross, so it's got to be that, hasn't it? So if we take that up to there, I can't do it right, can it? We still got the same overshoot. Body number 1. Okay, so you're on about there. So from the body, yeah, we're there anyway now, aren't we? Yeah, I got no arguments with that, not at all. But it still leads me to an overshoot. And it does look like it's bottoming, doesn't it? So let's have a look at this. Let's bring this in here a minute and see if this is a channel. The midline looks pretty good without overshoot. Yeah, maybe. So you're on about taking this down to there, aren't you? Yeah. Trouble is, we've got this big area missing here, haven't we? Let's see who's got it where on the look on Facebook. Let's have a look on Facebook, see who's put charts up yet. I know Marco has. Yeah, see, Marco's got his chart like that. Right from the top, touching. But he never had that overshoot. So he's got it, yeah, so it's just a little bit higher, but from there. So if you take that up there, it fits just as well. I'd say there's a fair chance it's something like that. Maybe you can adjust it to fit there. And in all fairness, that line actually fits pretty nice. So maybe we're having a leg and a leg. My only slight concern is no. Let's just keep an eye on this. So maybe an overshoot, maybe a break at a new low. It's definitely bottoming for me anyway. So let's put that there and take that there. Let's have that. Marco has it like you originally. He's got it from the very tops, I think. Let's have a look. Yeah, he's got it from that top, touching there, sort of 2/3 of the way down. So that will be there to there, and he's got that bottom there, which touch. I actually kind of like that. So for me, that is an overshoot. And the way it's reversed, we know overshoots can result in a correction or a full-out reversal. Well, that to me is a correction as well as a full-out reversal. Now, yeah, it's hard to go anything Osam, really. I mean, it's clearly working up at the moment. So I actually like the fact that we touch it, and it visually looks okay. That to me just looks a bit... It just looks less appealing, I think. So let's leave it there just for now. And it not only with it there, it kind of, how it's attempting to push and bounce in that similar sort of line, isn't it? Let's follow the bodies. That one there. Let's follow. It's a bit steeper, isn't it? But yeah. I mean, that to me, we got 1, 2, 3. That is definitely a bottoming pattern. However, you've got that one drawn. There's a break there, whether it's there or there. It could be there, and a couple of pushes down to a new low. That to me looks like a bit of a reversal pattern. Now, after a possible overshoot, we know that can result in a reversal. But where does this go now? Does it continue up? Does it push up, bounce here, have 2 legs down, and have another leg? It's a hard day today. It's a difficult day because it is sideways and it's also down a bit. And the trouble is, when you've got that sort of confliction going on, you don't know whether to treat these as the top of the range and the bottom of the range, or you don't know whether to treat it as a channel, because it's kind of both. But it is, if I got rid of that for a second, well, that just got rid of the whole thing. Maybe not. If I just pull that out leave it there for now. It's very much sideways down, so it's a bit odd, isn't it? Where the hell's my thing gone now? What did I do with you, lad? I forgot what I've done with my trend thing. Did I get rid of it? Yeah. That, to me, kind of... In fact, I'll even probably take it between there. So that kind of visually looks okay, I think. Let's give it a bit of colour. Sometimes that helps. Yeah, I got mixed feelings with this. Down, sideways. We're definitely working down. But look at that. We've gone so far up and we've just all of a sudden turned. So leg and a break. Is that 2 legs or a channel? So what am I thinking here? High or low or not? In all fairness, I'm not sure what's going on, so I'm just staying out of this. It could continue on up. I'm just going to let this sort itself out. If it goes above there or below there, I'm going to knock it on the head for the day. I've got no problems not taking a trade today. I'm quite happy. If I didn't see anything I liked, let's see if anybody else has got any pictures up, charts up yet. No, I don't think they have. He's another guy to watch, Job. I like his feel for stuff as well. If there's any guys watching and you want to find out what other guys doing, I like his style of trading as well, how he works. I like his setups. He's helped me out when I first started. He helped me out a lot, so he's one to watch. If you're looking for someone's chart to watch and just to see what they're doing and you know, sort of measure it up against yours, he's another one to watch as well. A nice fella as well. He'll help you out if you need to. So, is that a measured leg? I don't think it's far off. Yeah, that's an exact measured leg, so that may be... Is it too steep to be a correction? Maybe it isn't. But it's definitely 2 legs out. 2 legs up, sorry. See, I wouldn't know whether to expect this to push up or come down. Ordinarily, after a channel, we try to make a new extreme. But the overall bias is short for me today. So it'll be interesting to see where this goes. Oh, what time is it? Oh, 6 o'clock's my cut-off. That's it. I am done for the day, so no more trading for me. Let me just sort my chart out. I don't trade after 6 PM. That is my cut-off point. I've got to follow my rules. I've followed my rules to the letter all week. Save chart image. It is the 19th of the 4th, 24, and this is the ES chart. Excellent. And that is the NQ. 19th of the 4th, 24. Beautiful. Okay, I am done for the day, folks. No trades for me today. That one I would have taken. That one I would have taken. That was before I got to the chart. Well, it was about 9 o'clock this morning, but little did we know that we were going to get that. If we'd have known we were going to get that, I don't think I've ever seen that like that. That much price action and that much direction in the overnights, not for a long while. I don't know about anybody else, but when I saw that, I had to relook at the chart that I've got the right chart up, because that was up to, that's all pre-market. That was the overnights up to here. That surprised me, that did. I thought, no, I've got something wrong here, but it just goes to show, doesn't it? Anyway, channel up break. Looks like we're going to make a new stream, but that is me for the day. I am done and dusted. So I appreciate all your comments. Have a great weekend. If you're carrying on trading, best of luck. But I wouldn't be shocked now if we had this leg up. I wouldn't be shocked if I came back tonight and the market was up here. But that is me done for the day. So have a great weekend. Stay safe. And I'll be back on Monday. And hopefully we'll have as good a week. 'Cause it's not been a bad week, actually. There's been a lot more setups around this week. So have a brilliant weekend. Stay safe. And we'll talk Monday. Bye for now.